Good afternoon. My name is Pam McCagh, and I'm an international psychic medium and author of 20 books. But I'm not only an author and a psychic. I was given the gift of listening to people from the other side. Now that's, some people call it automatic writing, some people call it channeling. For me, it was something completely different. I didn't quite know how to put a name to it. Because when I listen to the stories, I actually go into their memories. So it's, when I first started to do it, I didn't quite know what I was getting myself into. It was a catch-22 phrase, I think you can say it well. It was the strangest feeling I'd ever had in my life, and it was like letting go of this world and reaching out for the next. But it wasn't the distance, it was, I can't really explain, it wasn't a distance between us because I was there and they were there, and it was just a matter of being there. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So the first connection I ever had was scribbling, and I wrote a beautiful story called The Soldier and His Men. And I really couldn't believe that I wrote that beautiful story. So I sent it to a friend in England that knew all about the things that the soldier come through. And he was a pilot in the war, and his mission was to send out and get the photographs. And but in the meantime, his plane got shot down. So consequently, his soul never passed over. Now, what I'm saying with the soul never passed over, all souls goes over straight away, but the memory lingers, and it's called what I call soul searching, and that's what keeps them there. So they never can actually complete their journey across, because this soldier was so well trained that he had to get these photographs back to his, to the people that was waiting for him. And it was about the Dambus, I think it was, where there was a bouncing bomb involved and it had to bounce 3 times, and all this. And the story was absolutely beautiful. And I'd never wrote a story in my life. And once I got that confirmed, it gave me confidence to listen again. But each time I listened, I learned something else about, I suppose you could call it a little bit of channeling, a little bit of, it's kind of a lot of things all comes together for me to enter their memories. And that is the most beautifulest thing that a person can be given the gift to do, because I've never heard of anybody that actually does that. But I did the first story, and after that I did 15 more stories, and after that I got more and more people. I was getting more and more clever of bringing them in and guiding them back out, and you have to listen very carefully. And sometimes when you listen to the stories are so sad that I'm writing down on the piece of paper, and the paper's getting soaking wet with tears. The stories are beautiful. And yes, the stories are sad, but it's the stories that's kept them here for not completing the journey. So this is what I was told that I would do. After a near-death experience, I was told to go back, that my life would change. And it did, within the time frame of two years. I learned a new beginning and learned a new life, and I've never looked back. So the reason today I'm going to talk to you about different things that's happened to me, because we hear all these stories about you die and you don't die, you go there, you don't go there, you get myths about everything. But what I'm going to tell you is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, because the questions I'm going to ask is coming from them. And these are the people that's passed on, and they are beyond reproach because it's their stories, they've lived it and they felt it. And each time I get a chance to come on and talk to you about it, I want to talk about different things. I want to talk and explain it's not just suicide. There's a lot more involved in suicide. It's not just passing over. It's not just losing a child. It's not. It's there's so much to the spirit world that it's still blow your mind. There's nothing to be afraid of, nothing at all to be afraid of. The things that the teacher, if you've got the, I don't know what to call it, but if somebody's telling you something and you listen and you take it in, you can then pass it on to other people. And it's the gift of listening then gives back to you, because you've listened to their story, and then you can tell people the truth, the old truth about the afterlife. Because for years we got stupid myths about ghosts and things. I want to tell you about ghosts. I want to tell you about people that want to come back to life and meet people and connect to loved ones again. There is so much that I want to discuss in the next a few months. As I said, I'm on my own podcast now. That way I can feel that I can sit down and tell you the things that I want to tell you. I am going to get people to send an email to my email box and ask a question, and then when I come on to my podcast, I'm going to answer those questions, so everybody gets a chance of saying what happened to my mother, she passed away, this, what happened to my father, what happens when we die, can we come back again? There's so many things that you know that you can ask. So for now, I'm going to say thank you for the listening. I'm going to put this on my podcast, and my son and I are going to try and figure a way out to be able to answer all your questions. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate that. Thank you.